screen, pull up our reading. And you guys, you did amazing at reading last time. I'm going to finish the story for us today, okay? I'm going to pause and ask questions and make comments. And of course, if you guys have something to say, you make a comment or raise your hand. But we're going to get through the story, and then we're going to answer some questions about the story at the end, okay? So here we go. Remember, we left off, we only read like a page, I think, or two. And we started with Leonardo's horse. So remember, we did the whole picture walk. And we found out on this first page that this is Leonardo as a young boy. And what does he like to do again, you guys?
He likes to draw.
Yes, yeah, he's like an artist. He likes to draw, huh? Very good. Specifically, what does he like to draw, you guys?
Any kind of paintings?
Landscapes.
Yeah, landscapes. Good, Javier. Yes, he likes to paint landscapes, huh? So as a young boy, this is Leonardo da Vinci, and that's what he liked to do. All right, now moving on, because we already read that page. I'm going to read this page for us. So it says, people noticed that Leonardo was different. I wonder how he's different. Let's go see. He dressed differently. While other young men wore long togas, Leonardo wore short, rose-colored velvet togas. So take a look. Here's Leonardo as a young boy. Think about a traditional toga, you guys. It's usually like white or brown or, not like bright colors like this. It's going to be like a white or brown. And they usually go clear to your feet, like clear to the floor, right? That would be like a typical toga. Not Da Vinci. Guess what? He's got to be unique, right? And so he's wearing like violet, purple togas that are like short, right? They go to his knees. So he was very different. He also wrote differently. He wrote backwards, from the right side of the paper to the left. Can you guys imagine? Here, watch my screen. I'm going to try writing a sentence backwards to the left. We'll say, John, here, I'm going to make it red. John went to, this is how he wrote, the store. Isn't that silly? He wrote backwards. John went to the store. Like, that's how he wrote. So he's very unique, right? All right, let's see what else. A person would have to use a mirror to read his writing. And he wouldn't eat meat. Okay, so it sounds like he's also like a vegetarian. He liked animals too much to eat anything that had once been alive. Nor could he stand the sight of caged birds. If he saw a man selling birds, he would buy them all. Then he would open the cages and watch the birds fly away. What a flurry they made! How did they do it? All his life, Leonardo tried to discover their secret of flying so he could make a flying machine for himself. All right, you guys, so it sounds like Leonardo was a very unique guy, right? So what are some things that you guys can remember from what we just read that make him unique? What are a few things that it said there? Javier, go ahead.
Well, for starters, he didn't dress like how they did. He didn't eat meat. And he set a bunch of birds free if they're in a cage.
Yeah, true. Okay, so he's definitely different, right? Not a lot of people go around doing that. Yeah, look how he's dressed. That's different. What else? How else was he different?
He wrote backwards.
He wrote backwards. Isn't that a silly thing to do? He wrote backwards. Yes. So the young Leonardo was a very unique person. Okay, I'm going to keep reading for us. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in again. For a man who liked to ask questions, Leonardo da Vinci was born at the right time. April 15th, 1452. Hey, that's by my birthday. My birthday is the 18th of April. And Isaiah, isn't your birthday April 13th? I know Isaiah was here a minute ago. So Isaiah's birthday is the 13th and mine's the 18th. So we're right around Leonardo's birthday. Only look at the year he was born, you guys. 1452. What? That was so long ago. Should we see how long ago that was? So this year's 2021. And if we subtract 1452 when he was born, holy schmolies, that's 569 years ago, you guys. So obviously he's not alive anymore, right? Leonardo da Vinci's now dead. Okay, well, let's keep reading about him. So that's his birthday. Everyone was asking questions at that time. The age was called the Renaissance, a time of rebirth, when people who had forgotten how to be curious became curious again. They were exploring new countries. Remember, you guys, this is when our country was rediscovered, right? 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. They were discovering, inventing, looking at old things in new ways. What was the point, Leonardo asked, in copying what had already been done? He had to bring his own experience into whatever he painted. You wouldn't catch him putting a halo around the head of a saint. How could he? He'd never seen a halo. Leonardo turned out to be a famous artist. Still, he was not just an artist. He could never just be one thing. He was an engineer, an architect, a musician, a philosopher, an astronomer. Once he fashioned a special kind of flute, and he made it out of silver in the shape of a horse's head. The ruler of Florence, remember this is Italy, you guys, Florence, Italy. The guy's name is Lorenzo de' Medici, asked him to deliver it as a gift to the Duke of Milan. So I'm going to scroll down and give a little sneak peek. Remember how we were doing our picture walk yesterday and we saw this picture of this guy right here, the Duke? Well, we thought he might be like a king. Guess what? This is the Duke of Milan, okay? So we're going to come back to him because he's a big part of the story. So Leonardo sends this flute to the Duke of Milan. This was lucky for Leonardo. He had heard that the Duke of Milan wanted to honor his father with a bronze horse in front of his palace. And Leonardo wanted to be the one to make it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what does Leonardo want to make, you guys? He wants to be the one to make what? Oh, good job, Rocky.
Art?
Or is it an inventor?
Yeah, good, Angel. Yes. He wants to make something. Specifically what, you guys? He wants to make a...
Picture?
Miss Babbitt.
What does it say?
Bronze horse.
Yes. Leonardo wants to be the one to make a bronze horse. Okay. And Angel was right. He was all sorts of good things. Remember, he was an engineer, architect, musician, philosopher, astronomer, famous artist, so many things. So he first and foremost wants to make this big, huge statue of a horse for the Duke of Milan, Italy. Okay. Let's see if that can work. And then Edson, I know your hand's raised. Do you have a comment or a question? Oh, I see you're typing in the chat.
Guess what?
What?
Yes.
This. Let's see. Is it in the chat? Your mom is into... Oh, her birthday?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, do you guys know Michael? Michael Golubchik? He goes to our school. Anyone know him? Or do you guys know Devin Berry? Their birthdays. So Michael's birthday is today, and Devin Berry's birthday is tomorrow. It's pretty cool. Oh, cool. Rocky knows them.
I might know him.
Devin's in our English class. It's his birthday tomorrow. We'll have to sing to him. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna keep reading. Okay.
I might know him.
Oh, okay. Rocky knows them. All right, here we go.
I don't remember anymore, but
All right, I'm going to read our next page. So first off, take a look at all of these crazy pictures, you guys. We've got that armored tank, some bridges. Oh, look at these exploding cannonballs, some cannons, catapults, all these weapons of war, right? So remember, Leonardo da Vinci is also an inventor, not just an artist. So let's see what happens with this. But remember, his goal is he wants to make a bronze horse that he can put in front of the Duke's castle in Milan, Italy. So here we go. This horse would be his mark on history. Hundreds of years later, people would point to the horse. Leonardo made that, they would say. So he wrote to the Duke, listing all the things that he could do. He could make cannons, lightweight bridges, covered chariots that couldn't be broken or harmed. On and on he went, but he saved the most important point for the last. He could make a bronze horse. In the end, he didn't send a letter. He simply left for Milan. Never mind that he was in the midst of painting a large religious picture in Florence. Let someone else finish it. He had planned the picture, and that was the important part. Alrighty. Now moving on. So remember, he went from here. Let me pull up a map actually. So Florence, directions from Florence, Italy to Milan, Italy. Check it out. So he went from Florence to Milan. So on a map,
That would end up taking him 3 hours to get
well,
there.
remember back then they didn't have cars, you guys. That would have taken a lot longer. Probably would have taken a couple days.
All right. Wait.
So let's see if he walked it. Look at that. It would take 66 hours to walk, you guys.
Dude, that's like 3. Dude, that's like
yeah, like a couple days.
Like,
so he had to go. He went from Florence, Italy, to Milan, Italy, here up at the top. Okay, and so this is where the Duke is. Remember, in Milan. Notice how close it is to France. Let me zoom in. Right here, the squiggly line.
yeah.
That's the border of France. That's going to come into play in a little bit because guess what? There's a war in this story. So notice how close Milan is to the France border. All right, let's go back to our story. All right, so he needed, remember, this is Da Vinci, he needed to understand everything about his subject. And remember, his subject is the horse, right? He measured and drew pictures until he knew where all the bones and muscles of a horse were. But you couldn't just show all the muscles on a statue, he said, or the horse would look like a bag of turnips or like a bag of apples. You should only choose those muscles the horse was using or getting ready to use. Okay, so take a look. See how this horse is like standing? So it's got a nice big bulging muscle there, maybe a muscle standing out in his neck. Okay. So he visited statues of horses. Many were shown in amble, left front leg moving at the same time as the back left leg. This was not easy for a horse. He had to be taught to do it. Leonardo saw one horse, however, that he described as free. The left front leg and the right back leg were moving together in a trot. Moreover, both ears were pointed forward. Some horses, however, pointed one ear to the back to hear their rider's orders. Leonardo was ready to begin. All right, you guys. So what was he studying again? What was his study subject?
A horse.
Yes, he was studying horses, right? Figuring out where the bones, the muscles were. And so now he's ready to begin. What's he going to begin? Do you guys remember?
Studying horses.
Well, he's already done the studying horses. Now he's going to
Yeah.
build a horse, right? Out of bronze. Hopefully. We'll see if it can happen.
It's not how. Wait.
But the Duke wasn't quite ready. Remember, the Duke is the guy that Leonardo works for now in Milan. He wanted a much bigger horse than the one he had originally planned. One 3 times larger than life. What? Can you guys imagine that? A horse that is 3 times bigger? How big is a horse in real life? Taller than you, right?
Yeah.
Picture a horse 3 times that big. Whoa, that's going to be huge.
If he's thinking about building a one horse, that's
Yeah, it's not going to be wooden. It's going to be bronze. It's going to be a metal statue, which is crazy to think about. Okay, so could Leonardo manage anything that large? The Duke wondered. The Duke wrote to Lorenzo, asking him to recommend someone who could do the job. Lorenzo replied, Leonardo da Vinci was the only one that could do it. So on April 23rd, 1490, Leonardo wrote in his notebook, I resumed work on the horse. The hardest part would be the casting. Do you guys remember what it is to cast something like with metal? Remember when we're making a cast for something? Here, let me show you. We talked about like this lost wax method. I want you guys to picture this. Okay, when you're making a cast for something, you make it out of clay or mud, and then you dry it or bake it. And then you can put melted metal inside of that cast, okay? And so that cast, then when you put the melted metal and then it cools down, it will be a statue, okay? So they make like a cast and then they put the metal inside of it. Does that make sense? Alrighty. So that's what they mean when he said, I resumed work on the horse. The hardest part would be the casting. He collected 58,000 pounds of metal, you guys. Tin and copper. Because remember, when you put tin and copper together, you get bronze, right? Tin and copper melted down
rocks.
Will give you bronze, yes. So he would heat until it was fluid. This would be turned into bronze and used to cast the horse. But should he pour the bronze all at once? No one had ever tried a single pouring of anything this large. In November 1493, he had completed the clay model. So this is a clay model, you guys. It was 24 feet high. It was shown off at the Duke's special occasion, and it was a sensation. You guys, this statue was 24 feet high. That's crazy. But remember, it's not made out of, this isn't the bronze statue yet. This one's made out of mud and clay, okay? So it's not finished yet. This is just the clay and mud one, okay? But guess what? This is so sad. Oh my goodness. You guys got to hear what happens to his clay mud statue. He hasn't made the metal one yet, right?
It was
So,
vandalized, wasn't it?
Well, yes. Let's see what happened. Remember, I talked about war earlier. Leonardo seemed to be in no hurry to start casting. Perhaps he wasn't sure how to do it. Besides, he was planning a new project. Later in 1498, there were rumors that the French were preparing to invade Milan. Okay, remember, I'm going to go back to our map. Here's Milan, Italy. Look how close France is to Milan. Do you see? It's even closer than Florence was. There's the French border right there. Okay?
Yeah, there's like the French.
Yeah. So if they come and invade and start a war, it's going to be crazy. Okay. So the Duke wanted to be ready to protect his city. And remember all that metal that Leonardo had collected, the 58,000 pounds? Well, guess what? There was all that metal that Leonardo had collected, just what the Duke needed. So he sent it off to be made into cannon. Oh man, so instead of using all that metal to cast the horse in a statue, they used it instead for cannons. Well, this is war, Leonardo reasoned. What else could they do? When the French came in 1499, Leonardo and the Duke fled, so they ran away. But the horse couldn't leave. They had to leave the statue, right?
Yep.
There he was, meaning the horse. There the horse was when the French arrived. The archers laughed. Never would they find as perfect a target, they said. Pulling back the strings on their bows, they let their arrows ping. They let their arrows fly. Ping, ping, ping. The horse sagged. Ping. Uh-oh, then it rained. And the horse became smaller and smaller. At last it was nothing but a pile of mud stuck with arrows. Oh, that's just so sad. So there it is, the horse.
Before
But
and after.
and then it says Leonardo went back to inventing and painting, but he never forgot his horse. He still wanted to invent a flying machine, but he still couldn't do it. His greatest disappointment, however, was his horse. As Leonardo became older, his hair turned white and grew down his shoulders. His beard reached clear to his waist, and he became depressed. What had he achieved? He asked himself. He complained to his notebook. Tell me, he asked, if anything has been achieved by me. Tell me. Tell me. It was especially hard when his rival, Michelangelo, who was another artist, you guys, Michelangelo taunted him. You, Michelangelo said, who made a model of your horse, you could never cast in bronze, and what you gave up to your shame. That's not very nice, Michelangelo. In his notebook, Leonardo mourned, I have wasted my hours. On May 2nd, 1519, Leonardo da Vinci died. It was said that even on his deathbed, Leonardo wept for his horse. The end. Just kidding. Thank goodness there's one more page, because that would be really sad if the author ended it that way, right?
Yeah, that would be like, what is
and then
wrong
he
with you?
died. No, guess what? The author wanted to leave this story on a positive note, so let's take a look at what the author ended our story with. There's one last page. In 1977, Charles Dent, so this is Charles Dent, Charles Dent, an American and a big fan of Leonardo, saw a magazine article about him. When he read that Leonardo died grieving for his horse, Charles said, let's give Leonardo his horse. But Charles Dent died before the work was finished. Later, a sculptor from New York named Nina Akamu carried on with Charles' dream. Many people contributed money to help her finish. Finally, on September 10th, 1999, in Milan, Italy, in front of huge crowds, the horse was unveiled. Check it out, you guys. It was beautiful. At last, Leonardo's horse was home. The end for real this time. So we had these super important people, Charles Dent. Remember, this is like 400 years after Leonardo has died, right? Charles Dent is like, you know what? We have better technology nowadays. Let's give Leonardo his horse. And so they were going to make it. Even though Leonardo was already dead, they were going to honor him and make it. Guess what? Charles Dent died too. But luckily, there was this lady named, where's her name? Nina Akamu. And so Nina Akamu made this vision come alive. And guess what? She made the statue happen. And it still stands in Milan today. Let me show you. Leonardo's bronze horse. Here it is. That's what it looks like today, you guys. Cool, huh? All right, here's what we're gonna do. Now that we've finished the story, I hope you guys are all paying really close attention. We need to go to the assignment tab.
Miss Babbitt,
Yes, that's it.
look what I said.
You said, ooh, it is a cool bronze horse in the world. What happened, Miss Babbitt? It takes a long time to get there. Why do we leave the statue? Why he bred it? Why Leonardo? Dad. Oh, I like those comments. Yes, all those good questions, Edson. Yes, it took so long for us to get that horse, huh? Like 500 years to make it happen. What you guys need to do right now is go to your assignment tab. You're going to go to the assignment called Reading Comprehension, Leonardo's Horse. Oh, good. Most of you have already looked at the assignment. So, Reading Comprehension, Leonardo's Horse. You're going to answer questions about this story that we just read. So, everyone go there right now. Lucas, are you in the assignment?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right, you guys can write your name at the top, and then, of course, you just choose the answer that best fits. Okay? So, we have plenty of time. Because you guys will be working with Miss Dora next, so don't worry about rushing. We have plenty of time to answer all of these questions, okay? So everyone go through, take your time, answer these questions.
I am now completing.
Are you in the assignment, Edson? Isaiah, I see you're there. I know Angel, are you still on? Oh, there he is.
Can you check?
Are you there now on the assignment? Hey, Angel, welcome back. Perfect, Edson, I see you're in there. Good job. All right, Angel, we are in the assignment tab.
I know I had to go to assignment.
Okay, you're good. Take your time. We got plenty of time because I'm working with you next period as well. So no stress. Alrighty. And then Jaden, did you make it to the assignment?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. All right, you guys get to answer those questions.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Gotcha.
Javier, did you find the assignment?
Miss Babbitt, this is Angel's mom. Thank you for your patience. On Wednesdays, Angel's work with me, and then I get home early. So, thank you because we transitioned from work to home, and so he's trying to get his stuff back together.
Yeah, no worries. That's fine.
Okay,
Take your
thank
time,
you.
Angel. Yeah, of course. And that's awesome. Javier, are you on the right page? The reading comprehension for Leonardo's horse? Write your name
Yeah,
up.
I'm there.
Oh, good. Okay, so get started on the questions. Do you need help with some reading?
No.
Okay. All right, good luck. Rocky, did you find the assignment? Oh, good, Rocky. See, you wrote your name. Okay, start answering those questions. Who's an architect? An architect is a what? Lucas, are you working on it?
Yes, I think.
Good. Okay, good job, you guys. Good job, Evan. Evan got started.
Babbitt?
Yes. Good job, Angel. Looks good so far. Let's see, Edson.
I'm on D. I'm on D right now. I'm on D.
Nice.
I'm on number D right now.
You're on
D.
the comprehension? Yeah, okay. Good direction. Good job, Edson.
I'm on the D.
How about you, Isaiah? Let's see. And you guys, I want you to do the writing questions at the end too, okay? So at the end, there's some writing questions. Lucas, you got to get started.
I am.
Oh, for some reason I don't see anything on your page yet.
Doing something. I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay, okay. Do you need help reading number 1?
No, I'm fine. Actually, I could do. Actually, I need help.
Okay. So number 1 says the architect was a talented woman. So they underlined the word architect. So you got to decide. Is an architect A, a building designer, B, a safety inspector, C, an archaeology instructor, or D, a medical technician? So think about it. Which one's an architect? And then don't say it out loud because everyone else is trying to take this quiz. But circle which one you think it is, or highlight it. Nice, Lucas. All right, number 2. She fashioned a hat for herself. Does that mean she purchased a hat for herself? She wove a hat for herself? She selected a hat for herself? Or she made a hat for herself? What does it mean that she fashioned a hat for herself?
Miss Babbitt.
Yes, that's it.
Look what I said.
Did you write something in the chat? Okay. Well,
I'm done with my-
did you do the writing ones too, Edson?
Yes.
Okay, for number 20, make sure you write, don't just write why, write something else. So remember the huge crowd came to see the completed statue? Why do you think there'd be a huge crowd? What were they going to see? Why would they all want to be there?
Because of the because if they don't know, and he just died.
Okay, so he had died, but then his statue like still got built, right? So maybe they'd want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely something like that. Good, Edson. So maybe go write that for number 20. And then on number 19, okay. Good, Edson. Isaiah, how are you doing? Nice, Isaiah. It looks good. You're doing great. Good job, Lucas. Number 3, the toy was made from bronze. So what's bronze? Is it molten metal? Is it metal made of copper and silver? Is it metal made of copper and tin? Or is it flexible metal? Do you remember what bronze is made of?
I said that, but we have to be nicer.
What'd you say?
Get out of here.
You can definitely tell us if you need space, but say it in a nicer way, for sure.
I am done.
Nice. All right, Edson, you can go ahead and turn it in, and then you will, and then you can log, well, don't log off, but you can take a break, and then Miss Dora's going to start her group in like 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So in 10 minutes, you can come join us again.
Can I have like free time?
Yeah, 10 minutes of free time. Yep. And then in 10
I
minutes, we have
I
to
am
join Miss
going
Dora.
to. I'm going to hear. Look, I'm going to hear.
And then Rocky, I'm gonna help you. Okay.
I'm going to go to a game.
Okay. Only 10 minutes though. Okay.
Okay.
Lucas, you need to read number 4 on your own. Okay. Try to answer number 4. And then Rocky. Which one do you need help on, Rocky? Okay, on the comprehension. Okay, so Rocky, you're on number 8. It says Leonardo da Vinci was born during the Renaissance. Okay. A sentence from the selection says the age was called the Renaissance. Edson, you can leave the call if you want since you're all done. That way I can focus with Rocky. So the Renaissance, the age was called Renaissance, a time of rebirth, when people who had forgotten how to be curious became curious again. So which of the examples, by Edson, which of the following examples is Joseph? Hold on, Evan, I didn't check yours yet. So does this show the Renaissance? Leonardo did not eat meat, or Leonardo studied birds in flight, Leonardo collected metal, or Leonardo did not fight against the French. So which one shows him being curious? Is it him not eating meat? Is it him studying? Is it him collecting things? Or is it him not fighting? Okay. And then of the following statements of opinion, which of the following is a statement of opinion? So read number 9 and see if any of those sound like opinions. Okay, Rocky? Evan, let me see if you completed your whole assignment. You did. Evan, I don't know what you mean on number 18. What do you mean by wove? You guys don't just give like a couple.
How are they alike?
How are they alike, Evan?
It's 12:35.
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine. You guys can keep working on it, okay? Because it's just Miss Dora. It's not like you guys go to a different.
Are we supposed to leave at this time?
Well, Angel, it's still English class, so it doesn't matter if you're with me or Miss Dora.
It is matters to me.
Did you finish your assignment yet? If you did not finish, you can stay here and finish it, okay?
I don't want to stay here to finish it.
How much do you still have left? Oh, you did a great job so far, Angel. Oh, you just have the last 3, Angel. You're almost done. So for number 18, it says how were Charles Dent and Nina Akumu alike? So remember, those were the guys that. So Charles Dent.
Go back to the OneNote and finish your assignment. Did you turn it in?
I did turn it in.
So remember, Angel, Charles Dent and Nina Akumu, they were alike because they both wanted to help build the statue, right? After Leonardo had died. And then for number 19, the author, why does he add another page to the story? Why didn't he just end with, hey, and then Leonardo died and he never made his force? Like, why didn't he end it in that sad way? He added one more page, and why do you think? And then finally, number 20, why do you think like a huge crowd would come to see a completed statue? So you got to think about number 20. Why would they all come to see that statue?
Use the ball and roll, honey.
Okay.
All right.
Rocky, let's go back to yours.
There. How were Charles Dent and Nina Akamu alike? What did they do?
Tell about reader.
Okay, Rocky. Good job, Rocky. You're doing great. Are you on number 17 now, Rocky? Okay, number 17, Rocky. The author most likely wrote the selection too. So why did the author write this? Did they want to tell the reader about Leonardo's life? Did they want to persuade the reader to study the Renaissance art? Did they want to teach the reader about Leonardo's inventions? Or did they want to inform the reader about the Duke of Milan? So what do you think was the author's purpose here? What was he trying to do? Okay, and then on number 18, Rocky, it says, how were Charles Dent and Nina Akumu alike? So remember, this was the part of the story at the end, the very last page, after, it's like probably 400 years after Leonardo da Vinci had died. And then this guy, Charles Dent, he's like, you know what? I think Leonardo, we should make his statue. But then Charles Dent dies, and then Nina Akumu comes along. She's like, I think we should make his statue. And so they both kind of had that common interest. So what do you think? How are they alike? What did they both want to do? Edson, did you finish those 3 problems? Or Angel, did you finish those 3 problems?
No! Did you hear the bell ring? It's almost time to rotate.
Angel, it's okay because it's just English class still. Miss Dora is right here, and she knows that I'm still working with you guys. Okay, no worries.
When we will rotate to her group?
Do you want to do this assignment in her group then at the beginning? Because you're welcome to work on it in her group. You just have to finish those.
When? When?
As soon as we're done with these questions. And then we'll rotate to her group. Alrighty. Is anyone else finished with the assignment?
Yes, I am.
Okay, if you're finished, you can hang up and go take a break for a little bit, okay?
All right, then. You have a good time. I'll see you in economics.
Yeah, see you in government economics. And Miss Dora is going to call you guys in a couple minutes, okay? All right.
Mrs. Babbitt?
Yes.
I think that the why questions are, he just doesn't understand how to answer them. So
yeah,
you'll have to work on giving him examples. I'm trying to prompt him with, they did it because, but I'm not getting any coherent answer, and I didn't hear the story, so.
Okay, no worries. No worries. I might not, honestly, I don't think I'll take a sample on the writing questions. I think I'll just do a reading comp sample on the multiple choice anyway, because I think that those might be too high level.
And we're working on comparing and contrasting, but that's a hard thing for him right now.
Definitely. No worries. No worries. I won't hold it against him, obviously, for a score. As long as they completed it, I'll put that as the score. Okay. But as far as data goes, I don't think I'm going to use the written response just because I think those are too high level thinking questions for some of the kids.
Yeah.
Right now. So that's fine.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Evan, you can hang up and take a quick break, and then you'll start with Miss Dora, okay? Okay, Javier, how's yours coming along? And Rocky, I'm going to come right back to yours. Oh, good job, Javier. You're working hard. Yes, they did. I know. I'll be right over there, you guys. Yeah. we're gonna kind of review the story, and then we're gonna answer questions about it. Okay. So I'm gonna be reading some comprehension questions with you guys.